Hey everybody, it's Xander AJ here, Alex, and I got a text message from my brother, Sanders Robin 24, telling me that he wanted me to do a WrestleMania review, or that people had been asking if I was going to do a WrestleMania review, and I'm like, whoa, I've never really reviewed a pay-per-view before, and I am not going to do a WrestleMania 30 review. However, I am going to do a video on Brock Lesnar and why he was the perfect man to beat the streak. I figure, why have me do a review? There's so many other people who are probably going to do a review out there. I'm going to do a video on probably what most of everybody's talking about. Yes, my moment of the night was Daniel Bryan. I'm a huge Daniel Bryan fan. Maybe I'll make another video just about Daniel Bryan. But this is about why Brock Lesnar was the perfect person to beat the streak. He was the perfect person. Why is that? You know, in my mind, I didn't think anybody would ever actually beat the streak. I thought it would always be, he'd go to 25-0 and then he'd stop and maybe he'd lose a match at SummerSlam. Undertaker would. Who knows? But no, he's 21-1. And it's perfect. It's the perfect time. It's WrestleMania 30. They're creating new stars in the company. They need media attention to propel them with the WWE Network. You know this. You don't need me to tell you this. So that's one reason why it's perfect, that somebody would break the streak. I mean, it wasn't just pro wrestling news. This was in newspapers, and it was on media outlets were reporting 21-1. It broke headlines. It was pretty cool. But why is Brock Lesnar the guy to do it? So I made a couple notes here, and, I thought about it, why is he the perfect one? It makes so much sense. He's toward the end of his career. That's number one. He's toward the end of his career, and if you had someone like, a Roman Reigns or a Daniel Bryan. I've heard people talk about how, how come it wasn't like someone like Roman Reigns, someone who's coming up, an upstart to break the streak and really use that to propel him in his career. Man, that would not be a gift. Because if any young talent were to beat The Undertaker and take his streak, he would have that following him around for the rest of his career. If it was Roman Reigns, if it was Daniel Bryan, if it was any of those guys, whoever, Dolph Ziggler, anybody you can think of, he'd have that carrying him around for the rest of his career. And John Cena, oh my God, John Cena has enough heat from a lot of adult fans. Beating The Undertaker would only give him more heat, and furthermore, it would probably maybe even turn some of his fan base against him. I could even see him beating the streak, having him turn some of his fan base against him, because some kids love The Undertaker. Love The Undertaker. He doesn't need any more heat than he already has, especially if he never does turn heel, which I know you and I, we probably all hope that Cena turns heel at some point. But Brock Lesnar's at the end of his career. He's at the end of his career, and it's okay if he's the guy. If he has that scorn, if he has that mark against him for the rest of his career, it's all right, because he can take it. He can take it because he is a huge heel. He wants to be a huge heel. He's part-time, so it's not like he's going to get booed out of the building every single time he goes in there. So Brock Lesnar can take it. He can take being that guy who walks around and has to deal with that scorn of, oh my God, I'm the guy who beat Undertaker. He doesn't really have to live up to anything. In my opinion, Brock Lesnar has always been about dominance. That's his entire character now more than ever. It's about being dominant. And being the man to break the streak, that makes him so dominant. And, another reason why, if you think, if he needs to be dominant, but he can't win the WWE World title, this might have been the only way for him to really be that way. Breaking the streak, a lot of people would argue, is more monumental than winning a WWE World Championship. I mean, yeah, Daniel Bryan headlined the event. He walked away with the title. That's the biggest thing you can do in the business. But maybe it's not as big as beating the streak, beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Now, personally, I don't think it's bigger than that. For me, the streak was never really, I love the Shawn Michaels matches, my personal opinion. Undertaker had a lot of okay matches at WrestleMania. That's just me. He had a lot of great matches too, especially in recent years. Don't get me wrong. But I was never crazy about the streak. But that's why. Brock Lesnar is a big-time heel, working a part-time schedule toward the end of his career, and he needs to look dominant. He needs to be dominant. That's why he is the perfect guy to beat the streak and to end the Undertaker streak. That's why, and I'm not sure a lot of people out there are really thinking about it in those terms. A lot of people are saying, oh, why didn't they should have never ended it. Or if they were going to end it should have been a Cena, or it should have been somebody that they were really trying to push. No, because that person would have had to carry that burden around for the rest of their lives, the rest of their career, and I don't think anybody, especially a young guy you're trying to push, would have been able to live up to it. I mean, maybe someone like Roman Reigns or a Seth Rollins or someone could have done it, but you don't know. You don't know how the fans are going to react to that person. This could be a person you're trying to push as a huge face, and the crowd just shits on them and shits on them every time they go out there because they beat their hero. They beat The Undertaker. They beat The Undertaker's streak. You don't want to take that risk. You don't want to take that chance. But the person you can take that risk with is Brock Lesnar because of the reasons that I just said. He's toward the end of his career. It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't matter to the product. Everybody thinks he's an a-hole anyway because he makes $5 million a year and he shows up 6 times a year. So, I'm exaggerating, but seriously, everybody thinks he's an a-hole anyway, and he needs to be dominant. So, those are my reasons. For anybody out there who disagrees, please give your comments below. And also, if there's anybody I haven't mentioned who you feel could have been the guy to break the streak, and they could have set it up somehow, put your thoughts in on why you thought it should have been a John Cena or a Roman Reigns or somebody else. Put your thoughts in down below too on who you thought should have ended the streak, or if you thought the streak should have never ended. I'd like to know. But in my opinion, the best person to beat that streak was Brock Lesnar. See you later.